Street style. Jamming.
Mason.
Alongside the great Roots Radics, you know.
What you doing, Mason? 33. Where'd you going, Mason?
Ourselves a little higher. We get up to about 10,000 feet. And doesn't mean it's going to occur, but it means that it can occur. What we've done is we've taken, and they start down here at the surface, but then you know what they do? They grow, and they grow, and they grow, and you can maybe find a few. In fact, if you see some clouds that are crossing the sky that you don't really recognize or don't really fall into any of these categories, together. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you look up in the sky and try to figure out what kind of clouds are floating by, and enjoy the weather.
Not to believe equals MC squared. You don't have that option. It is true whether or not you believe in it.
So that rocked. Seriously, was that cool or what?
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
The only answer was that the surface of the Earth is curved.
Wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Figure out why you can't see Spain from the east coast of North America.
We're able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall. I don't remember seeing any.
I have to ask you, what kind of file type, can you tell us about the image file type and compression that was used to send this very important couple of thumbnails back from Mars?
Yes, unfortunately, I absolutely cannot.
Adam, tell us about the landing.
I can't tell you too much about it.
This is called gravity.
UHF is good. Touchdown confirmed. We're safe on Mars. Time to see where our curiosity will take us.
There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. There are places to go. 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 There are places to go beyond belief.
keeping your atmosphere in. It's about 1/10 of an inch thick.
That's not very thick.
It's not very thick. Got this really awful green paint on the inside.
No.
It's an anti-corrosion aircraft kind of thing for aluminum prep, right? And then you got 1/10 of an inch of aluminum.
Right.
And then there's some
but that's important because that's your pressure layer.
That's your pressure layer. That's what keeps you alive.
That's
and then they've machined this waffle pattern in. So you have little ridges that are left. It almost looks like a waffle. I guess that's why they call it the waffle pattern, right? And that adds
it's like
extra.
A Waffle House to Space Station.
Yeah.
It's the Waffle House.
Rubbing on the O-ring.
This time you're going to get stuck.
33. 33!
Wait a minute. Don't choke those dice. Leave some air in there. Let them breathe. Let them breathe.
Think that the Earth is flat. This is not a viable argument.
Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
The drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
The drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Cirrus. And even though this stuff is mind-bogglingly thin.
By the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan.
If you look into the experiments to prove that the Earth is spinning, all of them failed. Look into it. What do you do? You just haven't looked into it. If you look into it and you have proof that it is round, instead of going, oh, some scientist figured it out, somebody figured it out, but you figure it out. You try to figure it out. No, because when they look into it, it's common sense. When you look into it.
How y'all are? I'm glad for you to see me, I guarantee. You know, I always like to start these things off with the story, and we're chopping up the various things we're going to put into one of the dishes we're going to cook today. It made me think about these two friends with me would live.
Does anyone really need $1 billion rocket?
And I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the. You look at the. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the. Where it started, how it started, who started it, whether it's McCabe or Comey or a lot of them. Where does it go? How high up in the White House did it go? You will all get Pulitzer Prizes, okay? You're going to all get Pulitzer Prizes. You should have looked at it a long time ago, and that's the only thing that's disappointing to me.
Let's do orange next.
About the. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges. I wish the oranges of the oranges, how it started, the beginnings.
O-R-A-N-G, O-R-A-N-G, O-R-A-N-G. Orange is what that spells.
I like turtles.
Jack-o'-lanterns are always orange. Carrots are always orange. Oranges are always orange. O-R-A-N-G. 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 Orange is what that spells. Jack-o'-lanterns are always orange. Carrots are always orange. Oranges are always orange. O-R-A-N-G.
Just some Tang.
Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
I felt strongly about it for a long time.
Collaboration with the Canadian Space Agency for Young Canadians. And oh, by the way, happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. Well, yeah, it sure looks flat from up here. Well, I'm not supposed to say that. Stick to the script. Show them the globe. Sorry. It looks flat out the window. Oh, okay. Stick to the script. Stick to the script. Show them the globe. Show them the globe. But it looks flat.
Earth is round.
National poll found that 18 to 24-year-olds are the largest group in the country who believe the Earth could be flat.
Destroyed that technology.
The Earth is in fact flat, and science has been wrong all along.
I know. Flat Earth. Well, I want to talk to you about the flat Earth theory. Being the flat Earth. No one believe in the flat Earth. Well, no, I'm down for the flat Earth. Flat Earther.
We've been unable to track it down.
And as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
It's incredible that we can keep track of Egyptian pots from 2,000 years ago, but we lose tapes made only 40 years ago.
Destroyed that technology. 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 That technology. Destroyed that tech. Destroyed that technology. Destroyed that.
Of the rest, but you see the whole. Take pictures of it. It's just flat and gorgeous to see. The whole thing, sort of unanimously, uniformly, in 92 minutes, as it says on the book.
The world from outer space. These images. How many pictures did you take?
You know, NASA doesn't give us any time to take pictures. They just assume the view out the window is going to be so compelling, you're just going to not be able to avoid it. And I took, when I should have been sleeping, I took about 45,000 pictures over half a year up there through. But yeah, we keep about 8 cameras by the big window in the belly of the space station. Round and around, round and around, round and around, round and around to seep into you together.
You don't see the same shot over and over again.
Round and around, round and around. Sun, so the seasons changed, not just the narcissism, but the.
Can you see like the lights of Manhattan? Can you see it?
It is so really, and the naked eye does a much better job at low light than any camera does. So 1.3 million feet up.
Yeah, 1.3 million, thank you.
About whatever, 270 miles up or some pens. Yeah. Round and around, a ball and a string, but together. You see something new, and a ball and a string, but sun, so the seasons changed. A ball and a string, but.
South America section.
Round and around, round and around, round and around.
Age of mind-boggling.
And I think a ball and a string, but look in a book.
Do we have a camera? It's 92 minutes.
A ball and a string, but and yeah, the Amazon also.
That could give us just 92 minutes.
Take a look at this right here. Bam, 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 bam. There you go again. Bam. Wake up. Bam. Oh, bam. 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 Taco Bell. Bam. Take a look at the center. That bam. Wake your ass up. It's time. There you go again. Bam. A big old bam. Doubt about it. Bam. Big old bam. It's a big old bam. They put up on the people. Bam. Or it's a bam. With a bam. All the way bam. You see that bam? More. It is a bam. Big old bam. No doubt about it. Bam.
Keeping you awake so much at night.
Eddie, lions make a lot of noise when they snore, but we've been keeping Eddie inside a container, inside a cupboard, so his snores have been muffled. But he rode up to space with me, and he's been flying in space the whole time with me, Your Excellency. Thank you for giving him to me. Like when you have a cold, and when you have a cold, all of the stuff that normally drains out of your nose gets plugged up there, a swollen head, and it fills up our nose and makes our tongue kind of swollen. A week or so, it's very strong and nothing tastes very good. Well, you can see right through that window there, that's outside the space station. There's just a couple layers of glass between us and what is out there, which is the vacuum of space. There's no air. It's completely empty. And in the sun, in the shiny part, it's 150 degrees. And in the shade, it's minus 120 degrees. So let's take your marshmallow and take it outside. Well, first, there's no pressure. And in a marshmallow, there's all that sort of air pockets all trapped in there. That's what makes it all spongy. So your marshmallow would swell right up. And then if it went outside in the dark, if we were behind the Earth, your marshmallow would swell up and freeze. And so you'd have like a marshmallow snowball. Feel sick. You know, you're dizzy, your lunch is floating around in your belly.
Australia.
Australia?
I'll be one of the new Australians.
That stuff is flat.
According to Wikipedia, in the context of spaceflight, a satellite is an artificial object.
World is flat, or word is flat, 200 please. Yeah. The world. Flat, yes.
Video games 200.
NASA, correct. NASA,
What is Disney?
Disney is right, yes.
Video games 200.
NASA, correct.
NASA, no commercial partnerships.
That stuff is flat.
I'm Alex Trebek, here to tell you about
NASA,
price, price, and price.
a carpenter uses it to measure a horizontal plane.
That height, you don't see the curve.
Level is right. I have to talk to them.
Universal Truth could be the biggest documentary in history. It only costs like $1 million.
Okay, let's do
To get a 50,000-ton big ship. No. We're launching the Discovery of Flat Earth project.
Now here it is.
I'm asking you a real question here.
Yeah, I believe those are flat. That stuff is flat.
I controlled the barrier, but I think I don't have to do that so much anymore.
Hello, fellas. Everybody's here. Freddie, Tom, good to see you, Mike. How are you, Mom?
That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat.
Guys, how do my teeth look? Pretty good? Okay, great. Fluoride in the water might be helping that, but it might also be doing other things. On the planet, it's in seawater. Foods like fish, tea, and gelatin contain it, and it is a naturally occurring substance in minerals. That is to say, it's in all of the rocks because it's everywhere. Fluorine is washed into the water supply during erosion, and then we drink it. Fluoride is just fluorine with an extra electron. And when we see it in toothpaste, food, or drinking water, it's actually sodium fluoride. Or in our bodies, it's calcium fluoride. Stuff in the body. Whether it belongs in the drinking water is a complicated question. Stuff in the body. So for the moment, water fluoridation is still a thing. But what do you think?
But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
The only answer was that the surface of the Earth is curved.
Wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear shape.
Wow. Makes you think. Whoa. A globe is the Earth?
A ball and a string, but trained eye makes a big difference in I'm definitely not a professional for, and yeah, the Amazon also. The world is so generous. It's to see. Take pictures of it. It's just flat and gorgeous. Any space movie ever made, you looking at the universe, you in the universe, you bottomless, huge, vast expanse. The movie, if you want to get some feel of what it's like, round and around and around and around. Oh wow!
Well,
Thank
Colonel
you.
Hadfield,
You're so lucky.
thank you. You are here. Goes on sale
today.
Yeah. As this is everybody's dream, is to be able to see, I think, the world from outer space. These images.
Has really become interested.
Because we control the mind. Reality is inside the skull, Winston. We control the laws of nature. The stars are not light years, but a few kilometers away. If we wished, we could blot them out.
There will be a number of expeditions that will follow.
Control the mind.
However, may I ask you, is there a great difference between the top of the world and the bottom of the world?
A lot of studies throughout my career, which extended back to 1973. This is the very first time that what I found scared me.
Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Burke.
Io non sono un astronauta, non sono mai stato sullo spazio, ma ho cercato di ricavare l'essenza della Terra da queste foto. Sì, Photoshop, ma deve esserlo. Sì, Photoshop, ma deve esserlo.
It is Photoshop, but it's has to be.
Okay, here's the music all by yourselves this time.
Well, here we go. Hi, it's Mickey Dolenz doing the commentary on the monkeys, 33 and a third revolutions per monkey. There's Julie Driscoll. She was so... Those are her real eyes, actually. She was born like that, strangely enough.
Woman!
I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the...
And this is really, really strange, folks. So hold on to your seats.
I hope they now go and take a look at the orange.
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of...
You can clap your hands, it's all right. But you gotta know.
Wash away my trouble, wash away my pain with the rain and Shambhala. Wash away my sorrow, wash away my shame with the rain and Shambhala. How does your light shine in the home of Shambhala?
Does anyone really need $1 billion rocket?
And I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the, you look at the, I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the, where it started, how it started, who started it, whether it's McCabe or Comey or a lot of them. Where does it go? How high up in the White House did it go? You will all get Pulitzer Prizes, okay? You're going to all get Pulitzer Prizes. You should
I
have
know a
looked at
song
it a
about
long
the
time
color
ago,
orange.
and that's the only thing
I'd
that's
love to eat
disappointing to
oranges.
me
Let's do orange next.
about the. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges. I wish the oranges of the oranges, how it started, the beginnings.
O-R-A-N-G-E, 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 orange is what that spells.
I like turtles.
Jack-o'-lanterns are always orange, carrots are always orange, oranges are always orange, O-R-A-N-G-E. O-R-A-N-G-E, 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 orange is what that spells. Jack-o'-lanterns are always orange, carrots are always orange, oranges are always orange, O-R-A-N-G.
Just some Tang.
Ah, Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Proof number 25. If Earth and its atmosphere were constantly spinning eastwards...
And that science says that we shouldn't have both sides of every debate. You know, like, we can't have, like, people who say the Earth is round and then bring on flat earthers, too.
Yeah,
Why don't you want to be fair and balanced?
From a consensus of experiments and observations, it is the way of the world.
Oh, so say you, but what about those... What, I mean,
say science.
Okay, but,
So-
but is the science in on science?
What I'm saying is, when different experiments give you the same result, it is no longer subject to your opinion. That's the good thing about it's true whether
to be look realistic. It looks kind of flat. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water. Look realistic. It looks kind of flat, but it's has to be look realistic. It looks kind of flat. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water. Look realistic.
And astronauts are really, really good at making pictures in space that look like you've never left the planet.
The moon landing was faked. True?
That's correct.
Like Earth, and you know, to see what's really there, you know, if there are living creatures, or you know, just how that planet is evolved and how similar it really is to our home planet.
Station.
Please start coming, please, and this ain't it gets colder. You're bundled up, now wait till you get older.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The Matrix?
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Us Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. North Pole and the South Pole.
To the South Pole.
North Pole and the South Pole. South Pole.
Around the North Pole, but couldn't they pole out of the South Pole?
It's round, because apparently this is something that we're debating. I have no idea why. Okay to think that the Earth is flat. That the Earth is flat. They have orbited the Earth once every 90 minutes, have been up in space and can see. They have orbited the Earth once every 90 minutes, and there are boats on that lake.
Fluoride in the water.
Well, you look
especially in large quantities. I mean, you can get away with it in some of the quantities that's in our water supply. You know, one of the ones that kept coming up that I thought was the most ridiculous one about the flat Earth was I'd read this a couple of places where people were talking about ships disappearing on the horizon. Yeah.
And then
No curvature. The high tide. If the moon pulls the tides, but the lakes don't get high, then the science is lie. Why? That's because there ain't no curvature.
Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept the ball to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. By the ball. You have no choice. You have balls. Because you have to be asleep to believe it. By the ball. Country know the truth. By the ball. You have to be asleep to believe it.
Go back and I'm really studying the commercial. I said, you know what? Everything he does is funny.
By the ball.
Yeah, he's sacrificing. Nick. And he's serving donuts through the drive-thru.
Surprise!
We don't. It's flat.
Ball.
The Bedford level experiment was performed numerous times in the mid to late 1800s by Samuel Rowbotham, the author of Zetetic Astronomy and Earth Not a Globe. The experiment was conducted in a 6-mile stretch of the Old Bedford River in Norfolk, England. Rowbotham used a telescope positioned 8 inches above the water and observed a friend in a boat with a flag on its mast positioned 3 feet above the water. If accepted calculations of supposed Earth curvature were correct, at a distance of 5 miles, there would be a measurable drop of 16 feet due to the Earth's curvature, and the flag would not be visible. Keep something in mind before we continue.
If a person is smart, people are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet. Imagine what you'll know tomorrow.
John Hampton, a friend and supporter of Rowbotham, offered a sum of 500 pounds sterling to anyone who could prove curvature and disprove the Bedford level experiment. A close colleague of Charles Darwin accepted the bet. His name was Sir Alfred Russel Wallace. Wikipedia and many other modern scientific references claim that Wallace easily debunked Rowbotham by factoring in atmospheric refraction and supposedly proving curvature of water in a 6-mile stretch of the Bedford River. Wikipedia also states that the referee of the experiment was the editor of a scientific journal called The Field, and that he promptly paid Wallace after he easily won the wager. Here's what Wikipedia and other science books fail to explain. The referee in question was John Henry Walsh, editor of The Field. He was not present on the day of the bet and was replaced by a local apothecary named Mr. Coulter. An apothecary, by the way, is similar to a pharmacist and was responsible for making all known medications of that era, including very potent opiate painkillers. John Hampton stated in his manuscript, The Bedford Canal Swindle Exposed, that Coulter was a major slacker and paid no attention whatsoever to the specific variables of the bet. Alfred Wallace had complete control of all factors and measurements necessary to manipulate the experiment to demonstrate imaginary curvature of water. Concerning Wikipedia's explanation of atmospheric refraction, it is interesting to note that to this day, there is no concrete way to calculate refraction because the supposed variables, which are constantly changing, including air temperature, atmospheric pressure, and relative humidity, are nearly impossible to gauge and create a general accepted standard. This seems like another case of special relativity, which was created by Einstein to debunk the Michelson-Morley experiment. If you're not familiar with Michelson-Morley, check it out, watch some videos, very interesting stuff. You will be shocked at what you discover. Wallace was also close friends with Charles Darwin and instrumental in Darwin's theory of natural selection. Both were members of the Royal Geographical and Geological Societies of London, and both had ties to Freemasonry and British royalty. The Bedford level experiment had to be debunked at any cost because it challenged the Newtonian paradigm, which still governs scientific theory today. Linear causality does not account for quantum mechanics and spiritual components, which are beginning to cause a massive rift in the left-brain logical scientific community that is without explanation for a lot of observable phenomena we witness today. Rowbotham and Hampton were up against some of the most powerful people in the world who would go to any lengths to preserve the Newtonian paradigm. The reality about water is that it is level and will always travel to a place to find its level. With modern technology, it's easy to see that it is scientifically impossible to detect or measure supposed curvature of the Earth. You may ask, how could a lie this big be told for this long and be accepted as the core belief of our existence on this supposed planet? This should answer that question. Once the belief system is buried in the back of your mind as a child, the stresses and responsibilities of adulthood prevent any questioning whatsoever of this indoctrination. It is also socially unacceptable to question the most simple and generally accepted scientific dogma of our time. Not to mention the fact that any mention of the concept of us living on a flat plane instantly brings images like these into our consciousness. We all remember the fairy tale about the voyage of Christopher Columbus and that they believed they were going to fall off the edge of the earth. Utter nonsense. Imagine what would happen if humanity realized that they were at the center of the universe, which was created by intelligent design, protected by a firmament, and we were not hurtling through space on an imaginary spinning ball. By the way, NASA still can't provide us with a high-definition, unphotoshopped picture of the Earth, despite an annual budget that ranges between $12 and $18 billion. If astronauts were really up there, you think someone could at least snap a picture on an iPhone. If you don't think you are being lied to, programmed, and controlled on multiple levels, check this out.
It's proof right there. This is an official NASA photo of the first Apollo 11 lunar module landing on the moon. I mean, it's right there. This is proof, man. It's the picture's right there. It's landing on the moon. But the only problem I have with this picture is that it's taken from the moon. I don't know what the big deal was with being the first guy on the moon. It seems the camera crew was already there.
Hey, all right. Do you see Photoshop?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And if those of you who think this technical difficulty was planned and think I'm scamming you, go do it for yourself. I'm going to zoom in on the Earth in Photoshop. You see the Earth?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go to Image, Adjust, Levels, and I'm going to bring the levels over here. And I'm going to bring the levels up. Uh-oh. To replicate clouds.
Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
So hopefully you're still with me. If we were living on a spinning ball that was spinning at the equator at a speed above 1,000 miles an hour, it would be impossible for water to remain on this ball. There is no situation in nature where physics can prove to us that gravity will hold water around a ball like they claim it does. And when you were in kindergarten and you asked your teacher or your parents how people in Australia walk around and do what they do upside down, you were onto something. But because we were not educated, we were indoctrinated, we were taught never to question the official narrative about anything. So that's where this is going. And when you sit back and look at the magnitude of the deception, it's really unbelievable how this has gone on for this long. And when I first saw these YouTube videos about flat Earth, I wouldn't even click on them because I thought they were ridiculous. And I figured, I'm college educated, I have a good career, I'm successful. Why do I want to waste my time on something so ridiculous? I would prefer to watch something different. So finally I gave in and I was hooked. And like 100 other guys I've heard on YouTube, I originally started my quest trying to disprove such a ridiculous theory. And after failing over and over and over, everything started to add up. when you look at the secrecy about the North Pole, first off, and you look at the secrecy and limited access to Antarctica, and you listen to Admiral Richard Byrd speak about his journeys and adventures into Antarctica, and then you research Operation High Jump and Majestic 12, which are all declassified, and I'll definitely be getting into more detail in future videos, you start to realize that there is something really, really secretive going on in Antarctica. And you look at the pictures of the gigantic ice wall, and you start to realize that this ice wall basically encompasses the entire plane we live on. So this gets crazy when you start going this far down the rabbit hole, and then you say, how could my entire reality have been fabricated? And human beings are innocent by nature and very open to programming and suggestion. And we have some puppet masters pulling the strings in this reality that are highly skilled, highly intelligent, and very well funded. And their goal is to keep you spinning on this imaginary ball so everything in your life spins out of control, and you barely have enough time to put together one critical thought in your head with the hundreds of distractions, whether it be entertainment or social media or the stresses of daily life, bills and kids and jobs and bosses and traffic and vehicles that break down and mortgages to pay and all of this kind of stuff. So we're being assaulted on so many different levels that it's very obvious at this point that there's some type of massive awakening going on. Because if you would have told me 6 months ago that I would be investigating these type of topics on a YouTube channel, I would have told you you were crazy. And, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what other people think about you. There's a really good meme. It says, I used to care what other people thought about me until I tried paying my bills with their opinions. And the reality is you're not going to pay your bills with anybody's opinions but your own. So, and it's also fascinating too that the haters just come out in droves when you start making videos like this, man. People hate this stuff because it either makes them feel really insecure that their fabricated reality is starting to crumble like a house of cards, or they really wish they were flying through space on a spinning ball, circling a gigantic ball of fire, hurtling through infinite space, and that they were created when nothing exploded to create everything, which is the Big Bang Theory, that all of this came from absolutely nothing that exploded, which is just nonsense. So, pretty obvious I believe in intelligent design. It's pretty obvious I believe we are not moving at all and everything is circling around us. So if you are on the same page, or you don't even have to be on the page, but I'm going to tell you what, do some research and open your mind, because there's an awakening going on, and this is what will push you off the edge and really get you to change your perspective on everything, because we are talking about a complete and total fabrication of reality that you've been indoctrinated into. We've all been indoctrinated into it. So till next time.
When you look at the atmosphere,
We should have looked at it a long time ago, and that's the only thing that's disappointing to me.
Let's do orange next.
About the I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges. I wish covered.
but you've got this little lick out the gate. And then you hit the chord. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret on the 6th string. Then with my first finger, playing the 3rd fret again, and then finally open the E string, at which point have it. And the second chord in the line is a B flat suspended 4 with an A in the mix. You can see it up on the screen, but I'm barring across the first 2 strings, the 1st fret with my first finger, ring finger on the 3rd fret on the B string, and pinky on the 3rd fret on the G strings.
Generous to see, take pictures of it. It's just flat and gorgeous. Any space movie ever made.
I'm mad about this country's educational system. You see, there's all kinds of incredible facts that the powers that be have conveniently left out.
Man on the moon.
We copy you down, Eagle.
So I've come here tonight against the government's will to inform you of the facts that have been kept from you.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. Thank you. You're looking good here.
What?
Okay, we're going to be busy for a minute.
I'm older, and I've got a secret.
And what you would do is lose air.
In the clip that you showed of the president, you don't talk about the spherical Earth with NASA in it and then say, oh, now let's give equal time to the flat earthers.
Of the flat Earth.
Spend $20 billion on it. If these guys are permitted to go ahead, they will spend $1 trillion on this stuff. Think of what that money could be used for. To educate, to bring people up to a sense of self-confidence.
Big round Earth money and their anti-flat Earth agenda want you to believe.
On the surface, the Earth floats around. Moon landing was faked, or the argument that the Earth is flat and that scientists are covering it up. Of cold, flat ground.
That stuff is flat.
I do know what's going to happen. Wants to know what would happen if the Earth stopped rotating for a second.
Oh, if somehow we all slow down, so anything not bolted to the Earth would fly due east, 800 miles an hour.
Planet was crazy. There are a lot of who disagree.
Should we still debate whether the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is whether the Earth is flat.
If you can find a way to desalinate water using less energy than we use today, you would get rich.
Beijing and New Delhi, where they can't breathe, they just wear masks. Wouldn't you want to make a fundamental change?
So things are going to change.
The food is
Same thing. But Bill, there is no big glass dome. No, I know. Okay. But there is a big gas dome. A big gas dome. Get it? Glass dome, gas dome. Are you with me?
NASA polices the flat Earth. Ground and there's green grass growing all around, and green grass growing all around. What's your name? Eric.
Best showing.
As awesome as it's been to live and work here for so long, it's super good news.
It's still not cold enough for condensation to occur.
How mean.
And he has people laughing at these events.
Maybe we could say it was a funny drug reaction.
$250 billion a year in the Defense Department. What good are they to show?
What?
This virus and its symptoms.
The point of this,
separate fact from fiction here.
it's funded. It's funded by a certain group of people.
A package, banker bailouts, constant lies, wars, crime, stealing our lives.
What?
The Earth is flat.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's
yes, it is.
Double guarantee that, too.
Three great years playing the world.
A Mason?
What?
The Earth is
What?
flat. The Earth is flat.
What?
The Earth is flat.
Ah, the seasons. It gets cold in the winter. Flowers bloom in the spring. We get lots of sun in the summer. And leaves fall in the fall. See, the Earth's seasons affect every living thing on Earth. That's right. Seasons affect the way everything grows and changes every year. The reason we have seasons on Earth is because the Earth is tilted.
If I mention the fake news media,
Right here with the solar panel plastic globe of science.
mention the fake news media.
So Neil, you're not a climate scientist, but you're a very distinguished scientist and astrophysicist.
Not true.
Arguments you did. If it was round, stuff would fall off on the other side. You can't have people standing upside down.
How mean.
I think it's true, actually possible that the world is flat.
Relax. Take it easy.
Or flat. Or flat.
Base.
Seems on some of these, it's entertainment, and he does entertain the crowd. Bible, the more you see it, the more you read it, the more incredible it is, and the more you will. It's like a great, you could say, I mean, I don't like to use this analogy, but like a great movie, great, incredible movie.
I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's skirt.
What's left in your life? You're 33 years old, you're worth all this money. You say you didn't say that you wanted to work. It's crazy what the top of the dome. As the
What? The Earth is flat.
to get over.
I do not go up and down in a 360-degree angle and all that stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside of Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? So you mean to tell me that China is under us? China is under us.
If you keep they are under us. That's what they tell you when you're a kid.
The world is
if
flat.
you dug straight through your backyard, you could get to China.
No, you can't.
The world is not flat.
Yes, it is.
We've seen the Earth.
No, we haven't seen anything.
Yes, you have.
I'm
You've
kind
seen
of
it
with
from
you
satellite imagery.
with a lot of stuff.
Satellite imagery that
and I'll
could
be honest with
that
you,
could be drawn
I'm not
and
fully on board with flat Earth.
Exactly
you know,
what
if you're
it said
curious,
out there.
if
You got to be wild.
If you're curious about flat Earth, there's a lot of people out there that there's a lot of great information. The YouTube channel
stuff
About some of our listeners, I appreciate it, man.
Agency, and he finally revealed
to normal, and he admits when he got to this part of his speech, he was nervous he might faint.
And this was reflected in my tax plan.
Agency back in March from space. It's been a tightly kept secret with every, but life on Earth is comfortable psychologically.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, where you all know if it's part of the show.
Very flat material. Nastasia Kinski.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
listen.
It's not.
There's 3 ways to manipulate the mind: what you read, what you see, and what you hear.
Okay.
Conspiracies.
In school, first thing they teach us.
Numerology.
And are you taking these precautions? These are warnings offered by scientists for our own good. And it seems to me if we all freak out, right, live in a life lived in fear is a life lived. So maybe the coronavirus will just blow on by. And then we kicked its ass. So you don't want to, I'm just...
I hope we win. Okay.
Yes.
Well, who would gain from that? Why don't we just ask someone?
We are not asking. We are gonna figure this out.
Maybe it's like Atlantis. Boy, living underwater, that's a life, huh?
All right.
Forget it.
I think it's quite stunning. If the ship be an area as big as that unexplored.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear? Okay, last time. This is your brain.
And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant.
A group of social criminals, these people in the space program. Nassholes, I call them.
Constantly spinning eastwards.
And that science says that we shouldn't have both sides of every debate. You know, like we can't have like people who say the Earth is round and then bring on flat earthers too.
Yeah,
why don't you want to be fair and balanced?
The way of the world.
Oh, so say you, but what about those? What, I mean,
so say science.
Okay, but,
so,
but is the science in on science?
What I'm saying is, when different experiments give you the same result, it is no longer subject to your opinion. That's the good thing about it's true. Whether
And astronauts are really, really good at making pictures in space that look like you've never left the planet.
The moon landing was faked. True?
That's correct.
Like Earth, and you know, to see what's really there. You know, if there are living creatures, or you know, just how.
Station.
Please start coming, and they don't stop coming. Back to the rules, and I hit the ground running.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The Matrix?
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth.
Us Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. North Pole and the South Pole.
The South Pole.
North Pole and the South Pole. South Pole.
Right on the North Pole, but cutting the pole out of the South Pole.
It's round, because apparently this is something that we're debating. I have no idea why. Okay to think that the Earth is flat. That the Earth is flat. They have orbited the Earth once every 90 minutes, have been up in space and can see. They have orbited the Earth once every 90 minutes, and there are boats on that lake. Shadow, the moon looks kind of dark and even kind of red colored. It's
Astronauts to the moon.
60 years ago, when the Russians beat us into space, we didn't deny Sputnik was up there.
Look realistic. It's kind of flat. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of the water. Look realistic. It looks kind of flat, but it has to be.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond.
So it's the reflection.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but
this is not even a conspiracy theory. The Earth is flat.
People believe the world is flat.
It's a cool place, and this ain't it gets colder.
Discussion, and I look forward to having a frank and full conversation, as we say in the diplomatic world, because the issue I'm going to talk with you about is there isn't one truth. Of course, truth is a relative term. At one point, the truth was the world was flat. When we talk about truth in science, of course, it's always relative. But there are now more than 6 billion...
Not good.
There's a mathematician, a different kind of mathematician, and a statistician.
No, not another boring space launch. Change the channel. Change the channel.
I can't. It's a lovely day for a launch.
Of this flat. Of this flat. Of this flat. Of this flat.
What a view.
A talent that would irrevocably make his life better, then worse, then better, then the same.
Your theory of a donut-shaped universe is intriguing.
But will man ever walk on her fertile surface? The moon belongs to America, and anxiously awaits the arrival of our Astroman.
Wow, what a view!
The pitcher, steroid Santa Claus, kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back. And the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.
Will you be among them?
Miss Hoover, the movie's over. Where's Miss Hoover?
But if you have mass, which we all do, you have mass, it has been shown beyond any doubt. And this seems incredible. There's no more efficient transportation.
That stuff is flat.
More efficient use of fuel.
That stuff is flat.
More efficient
That stuff is flat.
use of farmland. More efficient.
That stuff is flat.
Everything.
That stuff is flat.
Great questions, Rachel.
Most of these modules you'll see, they have 4 sides, and they're put together. That way we could sort of work on a flat plane. You can follow me if you want. But you know, you can sleep. The reason I'm bringing that up is because
that stuff is.
Well, are you a socialist?
I'm not sure what a socialist is,
Well,
but I
know,
believe that the government has a responsibility to care for the people. I'm not talking about dole. I'm talking about making people self-reliant, people able to take care of themselves. There are countries which are perfectly able to do that. The United States is an extremely rich country. It's perfectly able to do that. It chooses not to. It chooses to have homeless people. It chooses. We are 19th in the world in infant mortality. 18 other countries save the lives of their babies better than we. How come? They just spend more money on it. They care about their babies more than we care about ours. I think it's a disgrace. And this country has vast wealth. You just look at what something like Star Wars. The money spent on Star Wars, already spent $20 billion on it. If these guys are permitted to go ahead, they will spend $1 trillion on Star Wars. Think of what that money could be used for, to educate, to help, to bring people up to a sense of self-confidence, to improve not just the happiness of people in America, but their economic standing, to improve the competitiveness of the United States compared to other countries. We are using money for the wrong stuff.
Most possible?
There is. Now, the North Pole is the center of an ocean 10,000 feet deep. The South Pole, the center of a plateau 10,000 feet high, has really become interested.
Because we control the mind.
And it's called The Earth is Flat, and That's All Right. Let me tell you a story of a man named Mouth. For NASA came to the ball Earth map. Off the canvas a photo they took to show the world, hey look, the Earth's a spinning ball. The Earth is flat and that's alright. The globe is wrong from all the facts. I know for a fact the world is flat, 'cause water cannot hold on the outside of a ball.
If the Earth was flat, don't you think cats would have already pushed everything off of it by now? Checkmate.
When he woke up one morning, he knew it was wrong to deceive so many with the talent he holds. Then they came out with skin, exposed the globe line, and then that put an end to his comedian career. The Earth is flat, and that's alright. The globe is wrong from all the facts. I know for a fact our world is flat, 'cause water cannot hold on the outside of a ball. your mouth, many will cut from the line. I'll say Mark, Rob, Jared, Eric, Dell, and Matt to expose the reality we see. That water cannot hold on the outside of a ball. That water cannot hold on the outside of a ball. The earth is flat, and that's alright. The globe is wrong from all the facts. I know for a fact the world is flat, 'cause water cannot hold on the outside of a spinning ball.
Thank you.
Wake me up before you leave. I'm not been well tonight, and break me up one more time. I'm not keeping well tonight. Shake me up one last time. It'll keep me right tonight, and break me up before you leave. It'll keep me for a while. Do it to me just one last time. It'll keep me right for a while. Come on and break me up just one last time. It'll keep me for a while.
The Earth isn't flat. Well, I think it looks so ridiculously impossible.
It is Photoshop, but it has to be.
It's not something to say, I choose not to believe E equals MC squared. You don't have that option. It is true whether or not you believe in it.
Wake me up before you leave. I'm not sleeping well tonight.
The Flat Earth Society, they would not have believed that the world was round. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting.
Attended something called the Flat Earth. It's the Earth is flat, whether it didn't really do it, whether it's we didn't land on the moon.
I'm doing cat stuff.
Hey.
memes.
All day, every day.
I don't know. What else?
To say, these are connected? Kinda, not really. Yo, seriously, buy my shirts. Update, I sold no shirts. Huh. Oh no, he's out of ideas. Nope. Dumbest series. Actually, no. The best. Tremendous athlete.
Wanna fight? Nope.
See ya.
Milo.
Yo, Rhino, don't mess with me. Papa!
Alright, let's go.
The economy is not going to be anything like it was. It's going to take a long time to recover. It's going to be, people are going to be surprised at how slow and how fitful this is.
Fire, war, earthquakes. And so government, Dr. Fauci's doing a very good job of saying the numbers are what count here. That's a global problem, and so I'm glad that people are coming together. For the world at large, normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population. When we've largely vaccinated the entire global population.
Epic, each triumph and tribulation, a tapestry of history unfolds before us, a tapestry that weaves the disparate threads of tribes into the rich fabric of a nation. Join us as we embark on an immersive exploration of the epic saga that birthed the mighty Great Britain. Eons ago, the verdant landscapes of what we now call Great Britain echoed the footsteps of ancient Celtic tribes. Each tribe, be it the Britons, Scots, or Welsh, left an indelible mark, carving out distinct cultures and settlements across the mosaic of this land. In the year 43 AD, the thunderous march of the Roman Empire rumbled across the shores of Britain, led by the resolute Claudius.
Oh, shut up.
Relax. Take it easy.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with...
Amazing. What an amazing cheat.
Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Lost my faith inside.